Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your language learning journey is going well. Remember that you can do it. It really is just a matter of time and practice, but there really is no way to avoid that practice. The only way you build the skill is through practice. So keep working at it and you will consistently get better with consistent practice. So the lesson for today is the irregular verb lire. Lire means to read. So in this lesson, we primarily are going to make you aware of the forms because the verb lire is an irregular verb. So again, the only way you get familiar with these verbs is through practice. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the forms of this verb. So this is the present tense. So if I want to say I read, it's je lis, je lis, je lis. I read. You read, the informal you. Tu lis, tu lis. Il, elle, on lit, lit. Notice these three are pronounced the same. Lit, lit, lit. We read. Nous lisons. Nous lisons. We read. You read, the formal you, and also the plural you. Vous lisez. Vous lisez. And finally, il, elle, lise, lise. So they read. Il, elle, lise. So once again for the pronunciation, lis, 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 lisons, lisez, lise. Lis, 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 lisons, lisez, lise. Just repeat that many times and you will remember it through practice. So again, lis, 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 lisons, lisez, lise. Just keep repeating that. Okay, so let's take a look at some simple examples with the verb lire. If I want to say, for example, I read a letter, or it could be I'm reading a letter, je lis une lettre, je lis une lettre. I read a book, or I'm reading a book, or I do read a book, je lis un livre, je lis un livre. I read a text message, je lis un texto, je lis un texto. Let's try a question. If you want to ask someone a question, do you read or are you reading? This would be est-ce que tu lis? Again, with the est-ce que way of asking a question. Remember, there are other ways. This is a very common conversational way of asking a question. Est-ce que tu lis? Are you reading a letter or do you read a letter? Est-ce que tu lis une lettre? Est-ce que tu lis une lettre? Are you reading a book? Do you read a book? Est-ce que tu lis un livre? Are you reading a text? Est-ce que tu lis un texto? How about he is reading? Il lit. He's reading a letter. Il lit une lettre. He's reading a book. Il lit un livre. He's reading a text. Il lit un texto. Remember, the present tense can mean several things. It can mean he reads or he is reading. I just gave you the examples with he is reading, but it can also mean he reads. For example, he reads a letter. Il lit une lettre. Okay, let's finish this lesson up with one more example. We read or we are reading. Nous lisons. Nous lisons. We are reading a letter. Nous lisons une lettre. We are reading a book. Nous lisons un livre. We are reading a text. Nous lisons un texto. If you want to go with the meaning we read, then we read a letter. Nous lisons une lettre. We read a book. Nous lisons un livre. We read a text. Nous lisons un texto. Okay, and there you have it. The verb lire in the present tense. It's irregular. You just have to memorize the forms. If you found this helpful, I would appreciate it very much if you'd give it a like, perhaps a hype. And to go on to another lesson, click on the video that appears here on your screen. See you soon. À bientôt.